Welcome to Pathor-Web. Pathor is a board game that pits two players against each other in a chess-like battle to collect the most points. Each player is assigned a symbol, either gold star for player 1 or purple crescent for player 2. The object of the game is to get points by creating paths connecting these green nodes, so-called source nodes, to your symbol. Longer paths net you more points, and don't forget that paths can wrap around the board. Players take turns positioning tiles on the board until the entire board is filled up. Players have 3 phases to their turns: place, morph, and distribute. Let's take a look at a move in action. Right now, it is the gold star player's turn, and they can select one of 2 different tiles of which to place on the board. As you get more experience playing the game, you'll learn which tiles are better to place in which positions. In this case, I'll select this tile over here and place it in this empty square there. I can also reorient it to better suit my needs. In this case, I'll put it like this. Once I'm satisfied with the location that I've put it in and the orientation, I'm going to go ahead and click place. Now I have a couple of options of what to do during this morph phase. I can either push my tile in one of the 4 cardinal directions, which will also push aside other tiles, or I can pivot, in other words, rotate tiles on the board. In this case, I'm going to push this tile over here, and it will create more paths for me over here, collecting more points. Once I am done with my turn, that's when the point distribution phase comes into play. You'll see all of these highlighted paths will actually net me some points. So let's see that in action when I click done. Notice that the longer path here for the purple crescent netted them more points in this case. And now it is actually the purple crescent player's turn. So let's take a look at what they will do. In this case, I'll again pick the same tile. Not necessarily the case, but strategically, this seems to make the most sense for me right now. I can place this tile right over here, rotate it into position, now getting myself more points. And additionally, once I'm satisfied with that placement, I can pivot my opponent's tile out of direction. The only restriction for pivoting is that it must be on the same row or column as the tile that I just placed. So in this case, I am getting myself some points and also denying my opponent getting those points. When I hit done, this is going to see the points distributing just as we did before, with 2 points for that longer path. Again, for each tile that a path passes through, that's how many points I will get at the end of it. Now players will keep going until the board is filled up, and you'll see the points tracking at the top. Now that we understand what a move looks like, let's look at a fresh board. Since the board starts empty, each player's first turn sees them placing a source tile onto the board. No pushing or pivoting. I simply select my tile, place it onto the board. I can change my location if I want to, and when I'm ready, I hit done. Same with the second player. I'll simply place my tile and hit done. Now, on subsequent turns, players will be placing tiles of their own color. The first player starts as gold and the second player as purple crescents. When placing tiles, try to place them such that the path is created between the source tile and the center nodes of your own. So now I'll take, for example, this tile. I can place it wherever I want. Let's say I'll put it here, and I'll pivot it, or rotate it rather, around that way, creating that. Once I am satisfied with the position that I've placed it in, now we get the morph. So I can either push or pivot. In this case, only pushes are available to me. I will push this over here to collect points from both sides. Once I have done, you'll see the distribution of points, and I get my 2 points right there. Now it is purple's turn. They can go ahead and place their own tile, rotate it how they want to, and either do a push or a pivot if possible. In this case, purple is just going to stick right here and keep those points directly. Hopefully this gives you a clear understanding of how Pathor works and how you can start strategizing and beating your opponents. Cheers.